Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Raiders Pavilion. I'm Nathan Espinosa alongside Ryan Wilmore and Ryan Ketchum. Today, the Moorpark Raiders are going to be hosting Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros. Today's matchup is going to include a couple great teams. Both teams are both hurting right now. Injuries from both sides. A couple things have had players missing on both sides of the ball. So this is going to be a team limited on players for both Santa Barbara and Moorpark. As expected, as we ring into the end of the year, team plays start getting hurt. People are starting to come injured a little bit more. You kind of have a less of a team. It's kind of what they talk about in the Super Bowl a lot. Sometimes it's not the best team. It's the most healthy team that makes it to the end. You guys have anything you want to jump into right away with these teams?
Yeah, something, actually a standout player. So Santa Barbara, they only have 7 players, I believe, on their roster that are actually available to play for this game. Number 32, Ben Clay. That's a name to watch out for. He has around 13 points per game and 9 rebounds a game in league play. So in the conference, he is averaging those numbers, close to a double-double. So he's very good on the offensive end, and he just grabs every single rebound. Robert Hutchins as well, number 15. He has around 19 points per game in conference play. 19. He is just a flat-out shooter, flat-out scorer. He can shoot from anywhere on the court. He is just great. He's playing well. Has around 46% shooting from the field, so pretty good. He had around 43 in the, overall through all the games, but he is a very good scorer. Definitely watch out for him.
Yes. Even though we have such high scores in the game, Santa Barbara coming into this game actually only 3-5 in conference play, same as Moorpark, 3-5. Moorpark doing a little bit better in the overall record than Santa Barbara. Nonetheless, the conference is what it's going to come down to. Most of these players, though, out here, they're going to show up. They lost already once to Moorpark this year. They don't want to do it again. Anybody on the Moorpark side that year has been spotted out to you?
Well, of course, we got our star, Damian Wilson.
Yep.
So it'd be nice to see him, get up 20 points in this game. But I'm really looking forward to players like Luis Herrera. I want to see the Raiders get back in a 3-point swing. I know against Ventura they had a lot of success inside and driving cuts, easy layups. But, I wanted to see him open the game up again, hit some outside shots.
He was kind of disappeared in that last Ventura game. Even though they came out on top, we expected to see a lot more Luis Herrera, a lot more of those threes in there. We didn't see that. He's had, I believe, 2 20-point games already this season, back-to-back?
Yes, back-to-back.
So he is capable of really putting points up for this team. He wasn't able to do it. I don't know if he was under the weather or what it was. Sometimes your mind's just not in it. But he is someone, like you said, we're expecting to see a big bounce back from. As well, we're talking about a lot of missing players from Moorpark. We do have 2 injured players missing, or from Santa Barbara. We do have 2 missing players from Moorpark as well. That is not going to hold us back. We also have a Jake Toddy, who is not going to be here again. Jake, please get better soon if you're out there listening. And again, this is going to be a great matchup of 2 teams that don't really have too much as far as star power, but more or less show up in the hustle category. There's the guys like Larry Williams that we have that are going to be real big hustle guys. I believe for Santa Barbara, one of the more hustle guys, the assister, is going to be Drayton Howell. Drayton Howell, we're watching him warm up right now. A great shooter pregame. Doesn't look too good on statistics that he's a really great shooter, but he really comes in the assist category. Whereas, Moorpark doesn't really have anybody to really feed the ball too much. Our rebounder, Damian Wilson Jr., is also our star, kind of leads it right now in assists as well. So, for both these teams, it's going to be a nice battle to see both of them really go at it, just because neither of the teams have somebody who's really going to step up and take over. It's going to be a win by committee, essentially.
And speaking about Damian Wilson Jr., he actually had a triple-double earlier on this season. It was against Allen Hancock at Allen Hancock, but he has not surpassed that 10-assist mark in any game this season besides that. So I'm looking for him to be able to pass it around a little more, maybe, get his teammates that are not in their rhythm to be able to, get more confidence, be able to shoot a little better.
Yeah.
So I want to see him, kind of control the offensive side a little better.
Speaking of double-doubles as well, Ben Clay is nearly averaging a double-double on the season right now. So a big part of today for Moorpark is going to be shutting down Ben Clay from his rebounds, getting those rebounds from 9 maybe down to 4 or 5, because he's the defensive rebounder who's been really taking care of business. If they can get all those together, maybe Moorpark can end their last conference home game on a win. We'll see if that can come out on that. Both records 3-5. One of them's coming out today on 4-5. My name's Nathan Espinosa. Please wait while we join the game right now. Thank you. Woo woo.
First, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start with the national anthem sung by Betty Jean.
Betty Jean's back. We gonna
To rise and remove your hats for the national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wrecking them. The bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Betty Jean Hanna. Now, ladies and gentlemen, starting it off, we will start with the visiting Ventura Vaqueros lineup. Correction, we're going to be doing sophomore night tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, Moorpark College Athletics tradition is to salute our hardworking basketball student athletes. Starting, number 20, Kyrie Williams from Taft High School in Woodland Hills. We'd like to thank Bridget and Kevin Williams, sister Courtney Williams. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. Lastly, from our team last year and the WSC champions, number 20, Jake Toddy from St. Bonaventure High School in Ventura. Jake would like to thank his mother, Trish Toddy, and brother, Ryan Toddy. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to our program. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start with our lineups. First, the visiting Vaqueros. Starting number 12, Drayton Howell. Number 15, Robert Hutchins. Number 24, Chris Gibbons. Number 32, Ben Clay. And number 45, Robert Livingston. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for your 2016 Moorpark Raiders. Starting, number 3, 5'10" freshman guard from Silver High School, Larry Williams. Number 4, your freshman 6'5" guard from Taft High School, Damian Wilson Number 10, 5'11" freshman guard from Westlake High School, Luis Herrera. Number 11, 6'3" freshman forward from Simi Valley High School, Elijah Holtz. And finally, number 21, 6'4" freshman center from Alameda Mission Hills High School, Nicholas Becerra.
The tip-off goes to Santa Barbara City College. As Drayton Howell at the top of the key, getting ready to set this team up. Howell gets the ball back, works it back over. It's Hutchins. Livingston out to Givens. Givens puts it in. That's 3 for Santa Barbara to start off this game. Wilson Jr. gets it to Luis. Holtz trying to get in there, draws a foul.
That's what Elijah has to do. He's actually going up against Ben Clay right there, and he is a bigger defender. He has a lot more muscle on him, but Elijah's quicker, so he just has to take it to the hole, get the contact. Of course, he's always going to get fouled, and Ben, with Ben Clay being one of the best players for the Vaqueros, you want to try to get him out of the game or have the least amount of minutes that he can play, so definitely keep pounding in the paint for Elijah.
Yeah, especially with such a shallow bench. I mean, if you can get these players out, they have nowhere to go.
1 for 2.
There we go. Howell bringing it up court. Gets it over to Givens. Givens back to Howell. Howell top of the key trying to figure out where he wants to go. Gets it to Clay. Clay quick dribble and gets it back out to Howell. They're going to reset. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Gets it to Givens. Givens for another 3. Buckets for Givens. That's 6 for Givens already. Got all of Santa Barbara's points. 1-6, 18:53 left in the first. Wilson brings it down the court. Gets it back to Holtz. Holtz working around the key. Finds Larry Williams open in the corner. Larry Williams for 3. 4-6 Raiders as they work their way back into the game really quick. Try and get ahead of this before they get taken over. Howell gets it to Clay at the top of the 3. Clay with a bad throw, trying to get that over to Howell. Howell wasn't able to get to the ball fast enough. Moorpark will take it from right there.
See what Clay needs to do. Clay needs to post up Elijah. Elijah Holtz is not as big as Clay. Clay could do a lot of damage against Elijah, but he's, for some reason, staying behind the three-point line too much right now. He's trying to be a guard when he needs to be a postman in this game.
That also could be, kind of forced in the position based on limited players they have. That's Hutchins for 3 right now. Santa Barbara now up 4-9 over Moorpark. Nice ball movement by Moorpark. Ball's tipped out of Larry for 3. Williams with shot no good. Bounced right off the back of the rim. Howell moving up court. Gets it up at the top of the three-point line. Trying to set himself a screen. Pushes it back over to Givens. Don't give Givens any time. He's been putting these 3s in. Gets it over to Livingston. Robert Livingston with the easy 2. Finds his way in the paint.
Yeah, and that pass was all set up by the way that the Vaqueros have been shooting from 3. They got it. They spread the Moorpark defense out, and then they had an easy assist down low.
The ball is stolen by Santa Barbara. Moorpark loses the ball on that one. Tries to get it into Clay in the paint to get it up. Wasn't able to. Moorpark gets the ball back. Wilson with a nice pass right over to Holtz. Holtz puts it in for 2. Raiders trailing by 5, 6-11, 17:03 left in the first quarter.
Something that I want to see out of the Moorpark defense is be a little more up on your man. It looks like they're playing almost a 2-3 zone, but it's almost a man zone. A man defense as well, because they're matched up with their man, but then they're kind of playing too much help almost in a zone. They need to do man or zone and play their position or play their man. They need to stay up on the big guys, because Nicholas Becerra, he was in front of number 45, Livingston. Livingston got right behind him, easy pass. Becerra needs to be there. Becerra needs to have a body on him to be able to defend him. So they need to change the defensive up, either pick man or pick zone.
Can't play in the middle. You got to pick one of them and go with it. Santa Barbara will take over on their end of the court. Howell brings it up. Howell gets it over to Givens again. Givens shot and go. Tries to pass it over. Got caught up on the rim. Finds Hutchins. Hutchins gets back to Howell. Back to Hutchins. Working his way into the paint. Clay is over there to clean it up. Wasn't able to get it. Clay again with another try. No good again for Clay. Rebound goes to Holtz. Holtz loses it trying to get a pass and gets it to Clay. No good again. Holtz was able to get back and control of that ball. Ryan McCarthy now in the game. McCarthy at the top. Gets it over to Holtz. Holtz open for a three. Buckets for Holtz. That's 9-11, 16-17 left in the first.
I was very disappointed with Bilby on that last possession. He needs to put a body on Clay. If he doesn't put a body on Clay, somebody needs to. They need to box him out. He's the massive rebounder for this team. Luckily, he just was unable to find the basket on that last play. He wasn't able to get one in because he had, like 4 opportunities. So they need to box out, put a body on him. Bilby on that last shot, he only put a hand on him. I just saw him once again. He needs to put a body, box him out, and get him out of the paint.
There, as you're talking about Bilby takes one from Kirkham, puts it in for 2, ties this game up 11-11, 15-36 in the first. Howell brings it back, and I agree with you. Bilby needs to get a little more physical in there, back it up. We've got to remember, Bilby is trying to take care of that ankle he had issues with all season and last game. You maybe think maybe that's coming into play a little bit. Doesn't want to get too physical with a larger man. Doesn't want to push on that ankle too much. As I'm talking, we're going to have Caden Young put in a 3. This is a game of threes like you were trying to get at, Wilmore. 14-13, 15 minutes left in the first. As Hutchins gets it over to Clay. Nice and easy up for Clay. Puts it in. Moorpark on the fast break the other way. Ryan McCarthy drawing a foul, trying to get in there. Kind of a little back toss on that one to get it up and in. Wasn't able to get that in, but he's going to get 2 right now from the line.
Yeah, going back to that last play, you got Bilby in there on Clay, and Bilby's, he's the biggest guy on the court right now, but he's not playing. He needs to, he needs to assert himself down there and not get pushed around.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's got to do to help the Raiders out here.
Yeah, Bilby, usually a big piece on the defensive side of the ball. Again, don't know if that ankle is actually causing any problems where he's not wanting to push on it too hard, but we'll see as this game progresses. Santa Barbara bringing the ball back down, 14-15. Santa Barbara leads by 1. Just under 15 minutes left in the first. Hutchins back to Howell. Howell at the top. Gets it over to Givens. Givens all the way across the court. Gets it to Hutchins. Hutchins quick step up and shot. No good from 15 feet out. Rebound, Caden Young. They're trying to provide slight little press defense, as you can see right there. Slow this Moorpark offense down. That's Kirkham working the ball. Gets it back to McCarthy. McCarthy finds Young. Young to Holtz. McCarthy finds some space and puts it in and out, bounced off the rim, both sides, and then bounced its way out of there. Hutchins on the rebound. Looks like there's going to be a foul on Givens.
Personal foul on number 2, Caden Young. That's his first shot.
Caden Young is going to take the foul on that one, rather, for Moorpark.
This is very strange defense I'm seeing. It's that we're seeing. It's basically they're trying to run a 2-3 zone, but it's almost a 2-3 trap. With the 2-3 trap, it goes into almost a 1-2-2 zone, but they're not switching as they're supposed to. They're not guarding the zone that they're supposed to, and that's why there's so many wide open threes. So they need to switch it up somehow. Maybe just run a original traditional 2-3 zone and just, you know, play your zone instead of having all these things, all these moving components.
Again, Caden Young called for a foul right there. It's Caden's second personal and second team foul already. All fouls coming from him. That one didn't look like he was too physical on that, but he was right in front of the ref when he went for it and kind of got a little frisky with those elbows. Howell gets it over to Givens. Givens way across the opposite side of the court, gets it back over to Hutchins. Givens again, wide open three in the corner. That is good. Givens is getting his pick of threes tonight. I think he's made more than he's missed. He's 3 for 4 if I'm correct.
Santa Barbara's using the cross-court passes to really open the defense up, and you know, Moorpark can't cover anyone, and they find Givens again for a three there.
See, with that zone trap defense I was talking about, when it kind of goes into a 1-2-2, everybody's on one side of the court. Nobody's guarding the weak side. Somebody has to have 1 foot in the paint and 1 foot on the opposite side, on the weak side, so they can close out on that corner shooter to at least make him drive, at least, you know, disrupt his shot if he does choose to shoot it. So they need to change it up a little bit.
Here we are, 14-20. Moorpark trailing by 6. 13 minutes left in the first. Santa Barbara has found themselves on a quick lead right now, up 6 points. It's something that if they're able to keep these threes up, it's going to be hard to catch back up with Santa Barbara. That being said, 2 less men, having to run 7 men on the court rotating, may eventually wear on Santa Barbara, whereas Moorpark, you know, even though they have a couple guys hurt, they have 9 players active tonight still.
Yeah, you know, they can shoot threes, but those legs are going to get tired, and I think it's going to show later on in the game.
We'll have to wait and see that, but I think so also. And then Clay kicks it back out to the 3. Finds Crandall. Crandall trying to work his way in there. First time in the game for Santa Barbara. No good. Damian Wilson Jr. on the fast break. Gets Ryan McCarthy open in the corner. No good for McCarthy. Howell on the fast break now, working his way back against Wilson Jr. Draws a foul plus the layup. He's going to get to the line for a 3rd point. Looks like there was slight amount of contact when Damian was standing right there as they were working their way into the key. I was quick on that back break, on the fast break, getting back down the court.
Yes, he was. He was able to turn Damian around. He was able to make sure that he sees Damian's back. And by the time that Damian turned around, he didn't even turn around, but by the time Damian knew he was coming down, he was already at the hoop.
Yeah.
He was already laying it in for that and one.
And that 3rd point goes in. Moorpark now trailing by 9. 14-23, 12:27 left in the first. Larry Williams makes his way into the game. Damian Wilson Jr. just crossing midcourt. Wilson working on his man on the outside, finds a quick little slash with Becerra. Becerra wasn't able to finish at the rim though. Ball's going to be in Santa Barbara's hands. Givens now running the ball. Finds Hutchins in for 3. That is good. 26-14. This game is going to get taken away from Moorpark if they don't pick this up pretty quick.
Even if you're told to run that defense, as a player, you should know that there's a weak side. You should know a shooter's over in the corner or on that wing, so you need to be able to get there.
There we go. Kirkham tried to go up on that one. Becerra was able to tap it in and make sure that stuck in there to keep the lead to only 10 points for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, and it looks like Moorpark's going to switch to a man defense here, get a little change up.
Yeah, trying to, you know, limit the gaps and the openings for this team. As you can see, it's already working on this first play, forcing bad shots, and they're triple teaming Damian Wilson, opening up the rest of the court. Damian Wilson now wide open at the top, works his way in. Missed an open man. He had Larry Williams at the top back there just waiting. Not a man on him in a couple minutes, it seemed like.
Yeah, Larry was hollering out there. He really wanted that 3, but good job by Damian to take it to the basket and draw the foul.
Something that I'm seeing from Ben Clay, he is just a rebounder and offensive rebounder putback. He does not like to score. I saw him against Damian Wilson. He backed him down in the paint. He had a wide open hook shot. He did not take it. He passed it out for a 3. He likes to get the offensive rebounds and just lay it back in. He doesn't have a strong offensive post game. So when you're guarding him, make sure that is just one-on-one. Don't try to double team. Don't try to help. Stay on your shooters. That's what they need to do. Just stay on the shooters. Make sure they don't get a good look at the three-pointer.
Essentially a garbage man for Santa Barbara, just trying to clean up all the trash that's left behind. No harm in that at all, especially if you're going to lead in rebounds and almost average a double-double on the season. Wilson now working the ball back down the other side of the court. Looks like there was a foul on Howell that one as Damian Wilson Jr. was working on him.
If I was Moorpark, I would try and run as many fast breaks as possible. Try to run down the court as fast as possible. Moorpark has 9 players. Santa Barbara has 7 players. There's a lot more substitution they could do.
There we go. As we're talking, Elijah Holt puts in 2. 19-26, 10:35 left in the first. There we go. Clay down in the paint. Looks like that was all ball for Damian. Knocked the ball out of bounds. Going to be Santa Barbara ball.
Throwing for the Vaqueros.
Nice defense by Damian, not letting the big man take advantage of him. Howell looking for someone to inbound. Finds Makai Said. First time in the game for Said.
Great move there by Kirkham. You know, he didn't have numbers. He slowed down, made it look like he was going to pull the ball back up, reset the offense, and then he takes the lane and finishes.
He almost gave me a heart attack on the finish, though, because he didn't use the backboard. He had a wide open backboard, so I thought it was going to pop out when he just tried to, throw it with a squish almost.
A little finesse on his end. And there we go. Clay on a quick turnaround 10 puts it in. Looks like we're another foul for Santa Barbara. Becerra was able to get down the court faster than anyone else, and Clay really just kind of laid his body on him, get him out of the way.
And like you said, Ryan, the last couple possessions, Moorpark's gone down, tried to get these fast break points, and they're making a Santa Barbara stretch here, and it's a good trend.
Here we go. Holtz for 3, no good. Bounced around the rim, wasn't able to fall in. Howell on a fast break, trying to get all the way down the court, and he gets that with no foul at all. 21-30, 9:24 left in the first. Moorpark trailing by 9. Wilson Jr. working in between 2 players. Tries to squeeze in there. Looks like he drew a foul on that one.
That's exactly what he needs to do because his defender, Livingston is not as quick. He's more of a traditional center. At still being 6'5" as Damian Wilson is, he needs to just attack because Livingston is not as big as him, not as quick as him. And Ben Clay with Nicholas Becerra, he may want to think about kind of stretching it from the three-point line, maybe, going out there trying to get some drives going because since Clay is stronger than him, he can't be as effective in the post. So maybe look at your defender and play your game off of your defender and just try to, drive on him. He needs to drive on him. He needs to get more fouls drawn on him. Maybe not back him down in the post because he's not strong enough.
Mm-hmm. Santa Barbara almost had the ball stolen from them. Larry Williams was able to get in there and mix things up. Lots of fouls in this game in the first 10 minutes. Santa Barbara with 7 already, Moorpark with 3.
Yeah, Moorpark switched on defense there, and Larry Williams got stuck on Clay. And, Larry's the smallest guy on the court, and he wanted to show that he wasn't going to get pushed around, got a little too aggressive, and drew the foul.
There we go. Givens trying to find his way in there. Givens finds Livingston, puts it up for 2, 32-23. Santa Barbara leading by 9, 8:36 left in the first. Kirkham gets over to Holtz.
When you're running plays on the offensive end, I was watching Nicholas Becerra, number 21. When you're running plays on the offensive end, if you see an opening, take it. You know, you could be a robot and run the play, but that's not necessarily what your coach wants you to do while playing. He wants you to act human. He wants you to act as a basketball player. If you see a wide open spot, take it. Go for it, even if it breaks the play.
And one. Foul number 15, Robert Hutchins. That's his first charge.
And that Robert Hutchins will be charged with his first foul right there to get Holtz to the line. Holtz able to lower this lead to 6 possibly. And he does. Moorpark trailing 6 points, 26-32 against Santa Barbara City College. We can see Howell trying to bring his men in so he can set himself up a little bit, gets Chris Givens the ball as he slashes in there. Kind of a lazy pass by Givens, almost loses it. Ball moves around, finds Hutchins for 3 on the opposite end of the court. It goes in, 35-26, lead back to 9 for Santa Barbara, 7:50 left in the first. Williams working on Howell, tries to do a quick step back. Looks like there's gonna be a foul called on Howell. Larry Williams will go to the line for 2.
The last defense possession for the Raiders. Elijah Holtz, when the ball was swung over, they had a trap over in this left wing, but on the opposite side, Elijah Holtz did his job. He switched to his man he was supposed to, but there was nobody else to switch to the man in the corner. Got a wide open 3-point attempt. They need to work on the defensive switching. They need to work on communicating and be able to get there and stopping those 3-pointers, those wide open 3-pointers.
The free throw doesn't go in for Williams. A very physical game as we're starting to see this progress into. Luis Herrera going to come back in the game for the first time since earlier when this game started.
If I was Coach Link, I would try to run a play that would get Luis a shot. I want Herrera shooting a 3, getting that confidence back, and just taking over the game. I want to do a double screen, him going to the opposite corner and getting a wide open 3. That's what I would do if I was Coach Link. Let's hope that he gets him more confidence and gets him a nice shot.
As we're talking about that, Herrera collects a sloppy pass from Santa Barbara, gets it to Wilson. Holtz at the top, trying to work it, driving. No good for Holtz. Rebound's going to go over to number 34, Tyler Crandall for Santa Barbara. Gives it to Hutchins to bring it back up court. Looks like there's a foul on Damian Wilson.
Damian Wilson Jr., that's his second charge personal foul. Throw for the Vaqueros.
I didn't even see what Damian did on that last one to get that called on him. The ball was nowhere near him.
And it wasn't even that physical with Clay as well.
Exactly. Again, here we're going to see Damian called for this.
A little more physical that time.
Much more physical than the last call.
Damian Wilson Jr., that's his third charge team foul.
Damian Wilson has 3 fouls before we're even at 5 minutes left in the first. We haven't even gotten 15 minutes into the first half, and Damian's already racked up 3 himself. 7 team fouls, 9 team fouls for Santa Barbara.
Yeah, we got a long ways to go, and when you get one of your stars in foul trouble, it really switches up the game plan. He's going to have to come off now and be replaced by Bilby, who's struggled a little bit in the early going of this one.
Maybe we can get Bilby going again. I don't know if it was the ankle that we're limiting Bilby to, but someone's going to have to step up with Wilson off the court unexpectedly. And as we talk about that, Bilby collects the rebound from the foul.
Bilby is lucky he collected that rebound. When he brought it down, he got the rebound and he brought it straight down and he did not have his elbows out. That's not what you're supposed to do. When you get the rebound, if you bring it down, elbows out. If somebody gets hit with elbow, it's not your fault. They'll probably call a foul on the defender because he ran into you. So keep the elbows out if you're keeping it low, but just keep it high and pass it out to one of your point guards, one of the guards, to be able to dribble it up the court.
Becerra able to take over that ball this last time, kind of fought for it. Backwards pass to Elijah Holtz, and Holtz puts it in for 2, 28-35, 6 minutes left in the first. Moorpark now trailing by 7. Givens is working at the top of the key. Gets it to Hutchins. Hutchins takes a three. No good. Bilby on the rebound again. Holtz trying to get it down court to Luis Herrera. Herrera puts it in for two on the fast break. 5:50 left, 30-35. Moorpark only trailing by 5 now. Givens bringing it across midcourt. Looking for some direction from the coach. Saying how we slow this down now. Here's Hutchins. Clay on the quick turnaround tries to get it passed over to, that's number 34. Tyler Crandall wasn't ready. Kind of a bad pass, bounced off the rim. Moorpark next holds it with Taylor Kirkham. Takes a step back for a three, no good. Clay on the rebound. Givens setting up, gets to Hutchins. Hutchins gets a set. Back to Givens. Givens for three. Bounces off the backboard and in. That's 38-30. Givens is absolutely carrying this team. And again, here we see Luis Herrera for three. That is good. That's who we need to see come alive for Moorpark if they want to do something today. I know you were talking about it a second ago. Luis Herrera is going to have to find an open three to get this team revitalized, and I think they may have done that. Brought a little energy into the crowd right now.
30-second timeout call by the Vaqueros.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they get him a little more shots. I need to see Bilby box out. I need to see him do something down low. That last shot that was put up, he looked at the basket first. When you're a player, when you're a post player, the first thought is looking for a person to hit. You got to look for a big body to hit. Bilby, the first thing that he did was look at the rim. He needs to look at a person, box them out, push them the hell out of the paint, as far out of the paint as possible, and go up for that rebound. He does not have any business just looking at the rim. He needs to find a player, box him out, and then he'll get the rebound. He got lucky on the last one because it was a bounce straight towards him, but the next time he cannot rely on his reach. He cannot rely on his vertical. He needs to box out.
Basketball is not a passive game. You got to find a body, make contact, and assert yourself down low.
Givens bringing it up. Gets it to Saeed. Saeed back over to Givens. Again to Saeed, trying to work on it. Looks like Saeed's going to be called for traveling on that one. Turnover on Santa Barbara. Moorpark will take over where the foul was called. Taylor Kirkham. Kirkham finds Holtz in the corner. Holtz goes to drive, stops about 15 foot, puts up a jumper, and that's in. 35-38, 4:12 left in the first. Moorpark found their way back into this game with just a couple minutes left. Now only down 3 points to Santa Barbara. There we go. Clay at the top of the key tries to put it in. Nice and easy 2 points from about 10 feet out. Bad pass by Luis Herrera. Was supposed to get that to Bilby. Bilby wasn't able to hold on to it. Turnover, Moorpark, 35-40, 3:40 left in the first. Saeed with the ball at the end of the three line. Gets it to Hutchins. Hutchins trying to work off of it. Looks like they're gonna hold on to possession as the ball bounced off of Becerra's foot. Inbounds to Givens. Givens gets it to Hutchins, back to Givens, all the way across court. Saeed gets it to Hutchins again. Hutchins fakes the three. Looks like we're gonna have another traveling call, this time on Clay.
Travel call to the Vaqueros.
Turnover, Santa Barbara City College. Moorpark's gonna take over right here. Just down 5, 3:18 left in the first. 35-40, Santa Barbara Vaqueros leading. Kirkham to Herrera. Holtz back to Kirkham. Becerra finds Bilby. Bilby tries to put it up a little bit out of range, doesn't get it. Givens slowing this ball down as they were on their way to a fast break. Pulls back and lets his team set up and catch up. Gets it over to Saeed. Saeed back to Givens. Trying to get the ball movement, open up that center in a little bit. Opens up the outside. Givens goes for three. A missed three, unlike him in this game. Kirkham is able to rebound on the fast break, gets back down the court. Small jumper, doesn't get it, but Hutchins is able to cover it. Looks like there's going to be a foul on Moorpark.
Personal foul call number 33.
I apologize for, talking too much about the defense, but right now, this Moorpark defense, but what they're doing, I saw Bilby try to close out on a guy in the corner. He's the 5-man, he's the center, he's the one that's supposed to be down in the middle. They are doing something crazy on the defensive end. I don't know what they're doing. This 2-3 zone, they need to run it like a 2-3 zone is supposed to be ran to be able to have an effective defense. And going after the rebound, Bilby should have grabbed that rebound. They need to have people boxing out. They need to get the rebounds. They need to be big down low to be able to win this game.
Again, Bilby not being the most physical he can be. We've seen him perform a lot better. I don't know if it's the ankle. I'm going to keep bringing it up if we don't see him start getting a little more physical with players. We'll see McCarthy come in for Bilby, switch up to a little small ball. Herrera's who we need to see start hitting some threes a couple more. McCarthy gets it to Holtz. Holtz the three. There's Herrera's three as we're talking about it. That goes in right there, 38-40, 1:56 left in the first. Raiders now trailing by 2. Again, if they can keep Luis Herrera fed, there's a good chance you can let him open up and have another 20-point game. This looks like it's going to be a charging foul on Givens as Givens was trying to, looks like he was trying to walk up in there and just kind of finesse that one in. Was not able to contain himself. A little physical, and Moorpark will take over with 1:43 left in the first, 38-40. Moorpark trailing by 2.
Yeah, if Moorpark can finish the half strong here, take the lead, it'll be just absolutely demoralizing to Santa Barbara because they've shot almost perfect from 3. They're going to be thinking, what more can they do?
Exactly. Holtz draws a foul on that one. Looks like another one for Givens. Givens is adding those up too for their star 3-point shooter. Don't expect him to not be coming out.
The Raiders need to focus a little more on three-pointers. I know we were talking about it in the beginning of the game for the Moorpark side, but Luis Herrera getting those 2 3-pointers to go, basically in the same area, just on the opposite sides of the court. They need to get him involved, but also Elijah on that last mid-range J that he pulled up for. He had Taylor Kirkham wide open. He drew in his defender. He needs to have those quarterback eyes. He needs to have those point guard eyes where it's peripheral vision. He knows everything that's going on, and he could just dish it out, a no-look pass, wide open 3 for Taylor. That's what he needs to do. He needs to be able to know where all of his players are at.
There we go, tied up 40-40, 120 left in the first. Givens, top of the 3-point line. Finds Hutchins. Hutchins works his way into the paint. Nice floater in there. 1 minute left exactly in the first, 40-42. Moorpark trailing by 2. McCarthy at the top. Finds Luis Herrera for a fast. That was supposed to be a catch and shoot for Herrera for 3. A little bit over. And now Hutchins has a chance, second chance, third chance possibly. Nope. Ball out. Looks like Santa Barbara will hold on to possession. It looked like Santa Barbara was the last one to touch it on that last one, but
they need to box out Hutchins. Hutchins is only 6 feet tall. They were just jumping with him instead of boxing him out. They need to push him out of the paint and get the rebound.
30 seconds left in the first. Kirkham at midpoint. Ball out of bounds, Santa Barbara. Moorpark will maintain possession right at the MC Raiders. Kirkham with a chance to end this game. Just about a 4-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. It's going to hold on for this to give Santa Barbara less of a chance to try and put in more points. And there we go. Elijah Holtz for 3, and it goes in. Moorpark now leading for the first time in the game with, as time expires, Moorpark, like you were saying, Wilmore, if they can put in a lead to end this first half, it's going to demoralize them. What else can you do besides put in threes, and this team is keeping up with you?
Yeah, that was a dagger there by Holtz. Now they're going to take the lead in the locker room. They got all the momentum, and they're going to be fired up when they come out for the second half.
Definitely so. Well, stay tuned while we have an interview from Ryan Ketchum as he takes over right now.
Bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean, wide with fog. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite the Lady Raiders cheerleaders out onto the court. And tonight, courtesy of the California Army National Guard, the Moorpark College cheer team will be tossing 12 t-shirts into the crowd. Please stand now and show your Raiders school spirit. The California Army National Guard is a proud corporate sponsor of MC Athletics.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Raiders Pavilion. I'm Nathan Espinosa alongside Ryan Wilmore and Ryan Ketchum. Today, the Moorpark Raiders are going to be hosting Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros. Today's matchup is going to include a couple great teams. Both teams are both hurting right now. Injuries from both sides. A couple things have had players missing on both sides of the ball. So this is going to be a team limited on players for both Santa Barbara and Moorpark. As expected, as we ring into the end of the year, team plays start getting hurt. People are starting to come injured a little bit more. You kind of have a less of a team. It's kind of what they talk about in the Super Bowl a lot. Sometimes it's not the best team. It's the most healthy team that makes it to the end. You guys have anything you want to jump into right away with these teams?
Yeah, something, actually a standout player. So Santa Barbara, they only have 7 players, I believe, on their roster that are actually available to play for this game. Number 32, Ben Clay. That's a name to watch out for. He has around 13 points per game and 9 rebounds a game in league play. So in the conference, he is averaging those numbers, close to a double-double. So he's very good on the offensive end, and he just grabs every single rebound. Robert Hutchins as well, number 15. He has around 19 points per game in conference play. 19. He is just a flat-out shooter, flat-out scorer. He can shoot from anywhere on the court. He is just great. He's playing well. Has around 46% shooting from the field, so pretty good. He had around 43 in the, overall through all the games, but he is a very good scorer. Definitely watch out for him.
Yes. Even though we have such high scores in the game, Santa Barbara coming into this game actually only 3-5 in conference play, same as Moorpark, 3-5. Moorpark doing a little bit better in the overall record than Santa Barbara. Nonetheless, the conference is what it's going to come down to. Most of these players, though, out here, they're going to show up. They lost already once to Moorpark this year. They don't want to do it again. Anybody on the Moorpark side that year has been spotted out to you?
Well, of course we got our star, Damian Wilson.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see him, get up 20 points in this game. But I'm really looking forward to players like Luis Herrera. I want to see the Raiders get back in a 3-point swing. I know against Ventura they had a lot of success inside
Yes.
and driving cuts, easy layups. But I wanted to see him open the game up again, hit some
Yeah.
outside shots.
He was kind of disappeared in that last Ventura game. Even though they came out on top, we expected to see a lot more Luis Herrera, a lot more of those threes in there. We didn't see that. He's had, I believe, two 20-point games already this season, back to back.
Yes. The time that you've gone in, of course, you're not. You didn't start back in the 350 years ago, but from this time that you actually started to the time now, how have things changed? How have different laws affected the military and especially the California Army National Guard?
Well, I've been in for about 8 years now, almost 8 years, and just in the time that I've been here, I've seen in the units here in California, it's been getting progressively more. Units are taking their training much more seriously than they were back when it was just kind of a constant rotation. Desert warfare. Everybody was doing the same thing. Now we're branching out, training more conventional warfare, going back to the old way of doing things, and there's people are taking their training a lot more seriously, I guess I could say.
Okay, that's great. And how has training in the Moorpark area, basically the Moorpark community, how has that been able to be affected by your guys' presence in this past year and also presence in the past?
There are National Guard armories all over the state of California. There's not one here in Moorpark in particular, but nearby Oxnard, Ventura, Santa Barbara. So a lot of trainings all over the state here.
Okay, well, that's great. Thank you for your service. And thank you, Sergeant Amendola, for being with us today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your game.
All right, thanks a lot.
My name is Ryan Ketchum, and we will see you back with more second half in just a bit.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of the game.
to serve your own community and enhance your marketability for higher paying jobs. Please take time to visit the booth and learn more by speaking with Sergeant Marcus Amendola. What it takes, mind, body, and grip. California Army National Guard.
And we are back from halftime. Moorpark was able to take over the lead after they hadn't led the entire first half, was able to come into with the second half now with a 1-point lead, 43-42. They're just moments away from Luis Herrera inbounding this to get this going, resetting the play clocks and game clocks, 43-42. Moorpark leading Santa Barbara by 1. Herrera gets it into the backcourt. Here, Wilson Jr. starting us off. Wilson Jr. driving in. Nice easy layup off of a spin right in the paint. Wilson sets it up, 45-42. Moorpark going to take the momentum that they built in the end of this first half into the beginning of the second. Clay tries to go up for an easy layup, no good. Bounces over the rim. Williams with the rebound. Williams gets it. Williams gets it to bad pass from Wilson. kind of bounced off the tip of the hands of Becerra. Out. Santa Barbara will take over the ball. 19:25 left in the game, 45-42. It's the first time Moorpark has been leading. Feels a little different saying they're on top.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking it right now. That last pass by Wilson, Becerra, no matter how bad the pass is, you need to always have the hands ready. So, of course, Damien could have had it a little bit, a little bit less mustard on the pass per se, but Becerra needs to have his hands ready. He needs to be ready all the time. That's what centers need to do. They always have to have the hands ready, always, no matter where they are on the court.
I think that's for anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard of stories with Magic Johnson, you know. I mean,
Nope.
not saying Wilson's Magic Johnson, but. And as we talk about it, Wilson puts up a jumper right inside the three-point line, misses it though. Howell, fast break down the line, gets it to Givens. Givens' threes aren't falling like they were in the first half. No good three for Givens. Gets it to Herrera on the other end. The three bounces off the hoop and goes in. Another three for Luis Herrera, 48-42, 18-24 left in the game.
See, I'm liking what they're doing with the Luis right now. Luis Herrera, he has 3 threes already. I believe he also has a 2-pointer, so 11 points, around 11 points already, and has just started the second half. Keep his momentum going, and he's going to be that player that leads them to the win.
A brick shot for Santa Barbara. Williams was able to get the rebound, but lost control of it on the way of the fast break back down. Moorpark gets the rebound on that one.
Yeah, Santa Barbara come out the second half cranking up threes, and I mean, they're just cold to start. They didn't have much time to warm up, and it's really showing.
Looks like there's a little problem on the court. Take a moment as Holtz inbounds this to Wilson. Wilson gets it over to Herrera. Becerra. Now to Williams. Williams working it. Finds Wilson. Wilson working around his man. Puts a quick jumper off after a little wiggle.
That's his money jumper, getting right to any of the elbows. He just strokes it from the free throw line.
Here we are, Moorpark leading 50-42, 8-point lead coming into the second half, 17 and a half minutes to go. Look like Elijah Holtz is going to be able to draw a foul. Livingston's going to come off the court right now as that was his third personal.
On the baseline to throw in number 4, Damian Wilson Jr.
Wilson Jr. to inbound the ball. It's Larry Williams. Larry Williams was left wide open but couldn't finish. And Damian Wilson Jr. catches his own rebound 2 or 3 times to put it back in.
He was almost padding the stats.
Yeah, it was getting his own rebound.
For that double-double.
There we go for the double-double. Santa Barbara is going to call a timeout. And we will come back to you in just a moment after this timeout. Coach Link was able to talk to his team a little bit, get them ready to go. Now Moorpark holding on to a 10-point lead. 17-11 left in the second half. Howell. Howell finds Hutchins. Hutchins gets Clay down in the paint. Clay not able to finish. Able to get in too finally after catching his own rebound. 16:50 left in the first. Moorpark leading by 8. Wilson finds Herrera. Gets it back to Wilson. Wilson tries to put up a 3. No good. Looks like there'll personal foul on Elijah Holtz.
I'm so confused on Ben Clay right now. It was unfathomable what he did. He had the ball right in front of the rim. He didn't go up with it. He put it down on the ground, and then he almost airballed a layup.
Yeah.
Almost airballed a layup. Come on. When you're right in front of the hoop, just lay it up. No dribbles needed.
As he heard you talking right now, he laced in right in between two defenders a nice pass for an assist. Damian Wilson able to get a little physical, use that shoulder to rub off and make some room, put him another jumper right in front of that free throw point line like you were talking about, his sweet spot. Howell now finds Hutchins. Hutchins back to Howell. Howell working his way in, back to Hutchins on the three-point line. Good for Hutchins, three-pointer, 49-54, 15:55 left in the second.
Santa Barbara got off to a slow start here. They let Moorpark get out to a 9-0 run, but since the timeout, they've really turned things around, and it looks like whatever the coach said works.
Yeah, it looks like Hodges down there, head coach Morris Hodges, is kind of said something that got through to them because they snapped back into it. Again, this is in the half where we're going to see if their legs wear out, only rotating 7 men in and out on the court. Not unheard of, but when you're in desperate needs, it can wear out the team, especially on fast breaks over and over and over like we've seen a lot of. Hutchins again for a quick step up and shoot. Gets it in for 2. Now the lead is only down to 3 for Moorpark, 54-51. Moorpark leads by 3. Damian Wilson has 2 to answer back for that, 56-51. 15 minutes left in the second. I'll try to drive in there really quick. Wasn't able to get much out. Try to back out and reset. Travel. I believe that's a second travel call by Tyler Crandall for Santa Barbara as Santa Barbara turns the ball over.
Right there, when he was in the post, he didn't know how to handle himself, it looked like. He was too frantic with the ball. Right when you get the ball, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get in good post position, look opposite. Always look opposite. Look for a cutter, look for an open three-point man, look for the double team coming. If you do not see that, then start your move. Make your move. Analyze where the defender is playing on you, and then go for it. He just caught the ball and shuffled his feet. He didn't know what to do in the post, so he needs to work on that. Good defense, though, by Becerra. Kind of backed off of him a little bit, and that's why he backed into him.
Both teams on a timeout right now, trying to figure out how to, for Santa Barbara, how to jump back up and lead. Moorpark trying to figure out how to extend this lead.
I like the look in Damian Wilson Jr.'s eyes. You can see he almost has the, I don't want to compare him to this player, but, you know, he almost has the Black Mamba eye. He almost has that Kobe eye, that killer instinct.
Nobody has the Kobe eye.
True, nobody has it where Kobe has it, but he has that, it almost looks like he has that instinct where he could kind of turn it on whenever he wants, and he just had 2 easy layups right at the hole. He's playing good defense.
When I see that bottom jaw come out, then I know it's on.
But yeah, I mean, as Santa Barbara begins to tire out here, he's got to take advantage of the lazy defense and just take it to hole at will. He's got to have that Mamba mentality.
There we go. Well, we can maintain the Mamba mentality. That will lead us to victory for Wilson. Taylor Kirkham handling the ball, finds a wide open Luis Herrera, and you know he put that in for 3, 59-51. Yeah. Herrera just doing the threes like he's supposed to.
Yeah, it looked like Santa Barbara was going with the box and one defense, going man-on-man with Damian Wilson, but they just had a little miscommunication down there and left the 3-man wide open for Luis Herrera.
When Crandall gets a little sloppy with the ball, isn't able to get it together. Fast break from Moorpark, finds another wide open 3 for Luis Herrera. Not good on this one. Another chance for Luis Herrera. He's got the ball right here outside the 3-point line. Gets it to Kirkham, give him a chance to reset up.
Great job by Kirkham on the fast break. He knew if he kind of drove in the middle a little bit, Luis would be wide open, and he was.
Yep, Holtz was able to get in the paint and put it up for 2, 61-51, extend that lead to 10 with 13:57 left in the second. Looks like Herrera was called for a foul. First foul for Herrera. Looks like Howell's going to have this ball to inbound as they sort this out on the court. Howell gets it to Hutchins real quick. Hutchins tried to do a little back layup behind the back.
Shot.
Yeah, no look behind the back layup. No good, but he defends it, intercepts a ball from Kirkham over to Wilson and puts it in for a quick 2. That's not giving up on any play and staying on defense. Now Moorpark only leading by 8, 53-61. Wilson takes a quick step up and puts it in for 2. 63-53, 13:23 left in the game. Howell loses the ball a little bit, but figures it out. Gets it to Hutchins again. Hutchins has got the hot hands right now. Hutchins puts in 3, 56-63, 13:10 left in the second. Now, Hutchins is the one you're going to have to watch now. Givens was taking care of business in the first half. Hutchins in the second. I mean, Hutchins was having actually a pretty good game before this, and now he's just getting really hot. Kirkham for 3, that's good. Answer right back to that three-pointer. Kind of deletes the fact that there was even a comeback from Santa Barbara. Now Givens has the ball on the outside of the 3 mark. He's got Luis Herrera on him.
Yeah, when Santa Barbara had the almost 10-point lead in the first half, it seemed every time Moorpark tried to crawl back in, they'd hit a big 3. And now in the second half, it's the exact opposite. Every time Santa Barbara scores, Moorpark has an answer.
Looks like Nick Becerra was called for a personal on that one. His first personal. Gets it to Wilson.
Great defense by Wilson. He saw the post up. He saw it. Becerra had the disadvantage, and he came and swiped the ball on the opposite side.
Bad pass by Becerra. Fast break for Santa Barbara. Howell drives it down and just quick, easy layup to put 2 in, 66-58. Moorpark leading by 8. Bad shot attempt for Elijah Holtz, looking for a foul on that one. Didn't get it, and Becerra wasn't able to finish up for him. Santa Barbara maintains possession now. Gets it to Givens for a wide open 3. No good. That looked like it was falling in from our angle, too. Just barely hit the rim and bounced out.
Questionable call there.
Very questionable as Becerra back-to-back fouls for Moorpark right now.
Another out-of-bounds play, the first out-of-bounds play that they ran underneath their own basket. They had a wide-open layup attempt. Becerra needs to step up in the middle and defend that pass. He cannot let it get through.
Fast break for Moorpark. And nice, easy layup for Taylor Kirkham, number 1. Able to get ahead of everybody. Got Damian Wilson was able to recover the lost ball and just shoot it right up to Kirkham for a quick layup. Moorpark leading by 10 still. 11:46 left in the game. 68-58. Yeah, you know, I don't know if Santa Barbara's getting a little tired, you know, now that we're getting later in. It's almost 3/4 of the way through this game. They're trailing by 10. If they can't start hitting threes, I don't see them hanging the game too much longer. Moorpark not showing exactly exhausted on this either. Nice rotation of players for everybody right now for Moorpark. I had to wonder if their game plan coming into this was, you know, we don't really need the best squad out there. We just need everyone to be fresh throughout the entire game. Let's keep rotations up, because we saw a lot of rotations early in the game. Later in the game, we're seeing more of a lineup stick on the court for once, but hard to tell. Link's definitely got everything organized the way he wants it right now with a 10-point lead. 11 minutes left in the second. Be nice for them to walk out of here with a division win after losing to Santa Barbara in their first meeting up in Santa Barbara, to walk away with the split like they did with Ventura. Again, Clay down there wasn't able to work the way he should. Moorpark pushes the ball back down. Wilson driving in the lane and then slows it back down, kicks it back out. Herrera for a long 3, no good. That's Hutchins, recovers that one for the, it's like Givens was able, fast break down the lane, try to find Givens right in front of the line. Givens had to do a quick stop and jump again. to go up, and looks like he was fouled on that one by Elijah Holtz on that.
Yeah, great block by Elijah Holtz there, but they just called him for the body after the shot was released.
Something that's very surprising is Ben Clay. I keep saying his name. He says he's 6'5", 210, so he is the biggest body on the court. He even, he looks like he's the biggest body on the court as well in appearance with his size, but he does not have any post moves at all. The defender was guarding him straight on his back, front right there. He just has to turn over one shoulder and get a nice hook shot in. He tried to dribble the ball. That's when the double team came. So when he gets the ball and the defender is guarding him straight up on his back, just turn over one shoulder and hit a hook shot. That is one of the easiest post moves to do, one of the easiest to learn, and one of the easiest to hit. So that's what he needs to do next time. Good defense by Moorpark, though.
And Wilson, as we were talking, put 2 in to extend the lead to 11 now. 10:44 left in the game. Howell trying to work on Kirkham. Clay from way out there tries to put in a long 2. Not able to get it. Santa Barbara almost on a bad pass. Hutchins saves it to get back into Howell. Howell out to Givens at the 3-point line. Givens sticks the 3 in. 70-62. Moorpark now leading by 8. Kirkham trying to answer back, found Luis Herrera open for a second on the outside, wasn't able to get the shot off, gave it back. Kirkham gets it to Wilson. Looks like there's going to be a foul called. Personal foul on Tyler Crandall for Santa Barbara. Going to give Wilson a chance to inbound this one. Couple sub-outs right now. Becerra's going to come off the court. We're going to set Bilby back in there. Bilby we haven't seen since earlier in the game. Kirkham trying to drive in there. Hard foul from Clay on Taylor Kirkham. Kind of threw that arm right across the chest as he was trying to lay it up. Kirkham's going to go to the line for 2. Has a chance to maintain their 10-point lead. First one falls in.
1 for 1 on the line for the Raiders, number 1, Taylor Kirkham. 2 for 2.
Kirkham, 85% free throw shooter in conference play right now. Goes 2 for 2 to maintain that 10-point lead. 9:55 left in the game. As I'm saying that, Howell says, give me those 2 points back. Drives in there, puts it in himself with a quick, easy layup in between a couple defenders. Caden Young now in the game tries to put up a 3 in the corner. No good for Caden. Howell again on the fast break back down the court. No good. Try to hit a nice jumper from the free throw line. Damian Wilson to collect the rebound. Wilson steps up from his sweet spot all day, and you see Bilby getting in the action. Something we were kind of talking about all day is Bilby needs to start acting like a big down there, throwing those elbows and taking command. Definitely did that on that play.
And speaking about acting like a man, what he needed to do on that play, once he got the rebound, he could have had an easy lay-in right back. Just go into the defender, draw the foul, but at least shoot it up there. At least try to get to the free throw line. That's what he needs to do. Don't bring it out. Be big down low, be strong, and go up with that shot.
You say be big, he said be Bilby.
Yeah, but I'd really like to see him next season work on those, powering up towards the basket. Points in the paint are so important, and we need a big center who can finish.
Yeah, exactly. He had an opportunity right there, and he let it pass him. Kirkham way outside the three-point line, faking for a 3, gets it to Elijah Holtz. Holtz gets it into Wilson. Wilson trying to work right outside the paint. Step back and shoot, up for 2. Damian is not letting go of this 10-point lead, 74-64, 9 minutes left in the game. Same time, Hutchins tries to answer back with a 3, in and out, bounces around the rim. Clay was down there, but wasn't able to finish up for him. Caden Young faked from the 3, drove in there. Bilby recovered the offensive rebound, but couldn't get it in the basket. Went for that second try like you were talking about, Ryan, but wasn't able to finish.
And one of the reasons why he couldn't finish is because he faded away instead of went towards the rim. He did get the rebound, and as you said, he did go up with it, but he faded away. He didn't go towards the basket, didn't try to get the foul drawn, and didn't try to get contact on the way up. He just kind of faded away and floated it up there. You're never going to score on the putback if you don't go up strong.
You won't score if you don't ever try. I was waiting for one of you guys to finish.
My bad.
It's okay.
But I know, Ryan, you were talking about the Mamba mentality of Damian Wilson. And, you know, past couple possessions, you know, on the last drive, he passed it off. But before that, a couple times I see him driving around. You got wide open players calling for the ball, and he's looking like Kobe, taking it himself and scoring the points.
Yeah, well, when I make those comparisons, I don't like comparing those players to those pros because it gives them an unrealistic expectation at the level that they're at. But Damian Wilson Jr. does have that killer instinct and is able to score at will.
As we were speaking, Elijah Holtz was able to lay in two right there, 76-64, 8 minutes left in the game. Moorpark, or Santa Barbara rather, answers right back, 76-66, 7:50 in the game. Caden Young for a wide open three, no good. Larry Williams on the rebound. Larry Williams over to Caden after a quick screen. Gets it to Wilson. Wilson's going to go ahead and take this shot. Shot's not going to count. Looks like there was a foul on Clay. It's going to get Wilson to the baseline to go ahead and inbound this. 4 fouls for Santa Barbara, 6 fouls for Moorpark. Wilson working at the top. Working on his mismatch. He's matched up against Clay all day. Clay can't keep up with him athletically, but is a little bit bigger. Wilson's been trying to take advantage of that as much as possible. No good shot from Wilson. Ball's in Santa Barbara's hands. Givens wide open for a three, and he drops it in there without even touching the rim, it looked like. 76-69, 7:04 left in the second.
What Damian Wilson Jr. needs to do with the ball, he needs to take it to the hole with Clay. When he did a jab step, Clay backed up. He was all on him. He was up in, I guess you could say, up in his grill. And when Damian did a jab step, Clay took a step back. When he did another jab step, Clay took a step back. He knows he can't defend Damian up on the top of the key. He knows he's too quick for him, so he needs to use that as advantage, go to the hole, do a few hesitations, whatever he needs to do to be able to get to the rim, and he knows that Clay cannot defend him, and Clay even knows the same truth.
Yeah, he's got to take advantage of that matchup and really show him. Now Moorpark's lead down to 8. Caden Young at the free throw line puts in, nope, looked like it was going in, bounced right back out, 77-69, 6:50 left in the second. Howell got it over to Livingston. Livingston wasn't able to finish. And then Livingston's fighting Wilson for a rebound. Wilson's taking over this game with rebounds. Little fancy work from Wilson right there, working on Clay. In between two defenders, him and Clay and Givens kind of sandwiched him right there. We'll head and see.
Yeah, I'm surprised Clay's been guarding Damian Wilson so far out on the perimeter. I think, you know, with how overly athletic he is compared to Clay, I think you got to dare him to take the three and prove that he can make it before you let him beat you there on the dribble.
It's hard. I mean, if you're Santa Barbara, who else do you stick on Damian?
Yeah, Damian's just another type of player. He's one of those players that can shoot. He has size, he has athleticism, and he has speed. It's hard to guard, but he needs to just take advantage of that. Clay on that last foul, he knew he couldn't guard him. He went straight past him.
I think that's what Givens saw too. So Givens had to come in and help and try and aid on that, and which caused the foul right there. As we're talking, Givens gets a foul for his own turnover, got a charging call against Holtz. Livingston trying to work the post on Bilby, no good. Wilson again way up there to get that rebound, making sure that Moorpark maintains possession. Wilson setting up a screen, gets it over to Caden. Young finds Bilby. Elijah Holtz, quick step up from that corner of the free throw. No good, but Bilby was able to finish for him.
I'm glad Bilby went up with it. Still, he's not going up strong. He's not going towards the basket. He just went straight up, but I'll take it. I'll take that point. I'll take that he's able to get the rebound and put back to be able to get another 2 points up for the Raiders.
A quick turnover for Santa Barbara. Holtz was able to get a hold of it. You see, almost a bad pass trying to get to Wilson. Wilson kind of jammed up in the corner, gets it to Caden, who's wide open for a three. No good. Howell on the fast break trying to work down the court. Kicks it wide open three to Givens. Givens is going to ice this one 72-79 as he lays in that three-pointer. 4:50 left in the game. Moorpark now only leading by 7.
It seems like Elijah, he came down hard on his ankle area. It looks like almost the shin. He was holding it down on the ground. He's back up and he is walking, but he's kind of grimacing in pain a little bit. So hopefully that does not slow down his production from tonight.
Bilby for a small jumper, wasn't able, ball bounced right over the rim.
He was contended by a little man there, and he decided to pull up instead of going hard to the rim. You got to go to the rim.
Yep, you got to take advantage of your matchups.
And I think the defender was even a little surprised because he didn't even jump to defend the jump shot from Bilby. Bilby, if he's going to do that, what he needs to do is pump fake, get the defender to come on him, and then dribble around him. He needs to get the defender in the air, but don't just pull up right there. Go up strong, create the contact, get the foul. You know, move the ball a little bit in the air to be able to knock it down, but get the foul. That's what you need to do. Go to the free throw line. He is not a bad free throw shooter. Actually, every game before the game, he always practices free throws. That's what his warm-up is. He always practices free throws to start it off, so that's what he needs to do. Go to the line. Show that you can make the free throws.
There we go. As we're talking about free throws, Damian Wilson sticks in his first of 2. 80-72, 4:20 left in the game. Second one does not go in for Wilson. Wilson usually averaging a 70-point solid percentage for free throws. Clay puts his first shot in for about 5 feet out.
And it was a weird hook shot. It didn't even have that much arc on it. Usually for a hook shot, you want to see some arc, almost as a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar-esque hook shot, that it goes with a nice arc and is able to go in. He just kind of flat hooked it and it went in.
It looked really funny. Some I was kind of caught up with words. I didn't know how to explain that shot. It just went in.
Yeah.
Givens open from his favorite point on the 3 mark, just nails it again. 77-82. Santa Barbara now only trailing by 5. Moorpark has given up their 10-point lead with 3 minutes left in the game. Williams gets it to Wilson, gets over to Becerra. Williams wide open for a 3, a little contested by Howell, trying to get the fast break going. A little too fast. Givens was able to save it, get to Hutchins, but Moorpark able to take it over.
Becerra needs to be strong with the ball. He brought it right down, and that's why the point guard, that was actually Howell, I believe, was able to wrap his hands around the basketball and be able to cause the jump ball. He needs, if he's going to bring it down with his elbows. Don't let the the smaller players be able to grab it. Also, on the last offensive play, he had a 6'1" guy on him when he's listed at 6'3", I believe, and on another roster he's listed at 6'4", so I don't really know his height, an exact number, but he had a 6'1" guy on him with less weight. He needs to post up, be strong, and be able to do some post moves. He didn't even post up, so the players didn't even look at him. That's why Larry Williams took the 3.
Yeah. Lady Raiders are down here getting ready. Everyone stay tuned for the Lady Raiders after this. They'll be playing Santa Barbara's ladies in the second of 2 in this doubleheader today.
It's always nice to have those double headers where all the fans, they kind of get a 2-for-1 deal where they could watch the men's and the women's. And the women's are very exciting this year. They are going to have a playoff spot. They're very good in conference play. Their only 2 losses were to Ventura. I believe they're second in the conference overall. So they have a good momentum going into this game, a good coaching staff, and they're a very good team to watch. They're very exciting to be able to watch play and win.
Yeah, they were blasted last week by Ventura, surprisingly. Ventura, I found out at the end of the game, had, I believe, only 6 losses in, what was it, 8 to 10 years?
Well, but yeah, Ventura's women's team is amazing. They've had 27 consecutive conference titles, and that's just unparalleled.
Exactly. As well as the Lady Raiders are doing this season, it's, like you said, unparalleled to how well Ventura's ladies team really is and takes care of business. Old chicken noodle soup served us up.
She did.
Yeah, Katie Campbell, number 3. I believe she's that Washington State product. She went to Washington State. She was going to go, but transferred back over here, and now she has another offer to Washington State, so she's possibly going to go back, but a Division I talent. Just amazing out on the court to see. I really like the defense Damian Wilson Jr. is playing over there on Ben Clay, number 32. He's not letting him get post-up position, and he's always fronting him so he cannot get the ball.
Nice shot there.
As you're talking about him, why don't you broadcast what happened right there, because that was a little confusing.
Wow, Ben's...
Just about the ugliest shot I've seen.
Again, it takes me from my words when I see those shots, but they're going in for Clay. Clay nailed that one from 3 to bring Moorpark down to 2 in their lead.
And Clay has never even attempted a three-pointer in this game. He's not known for threes, of course, and you could see why that shot was really flat, but somehow it went in. Of course, the shot clock was winding down, so he had to put it up. But he is not, like I said, he has not attempted a three-pointer in this game alone, so a little unnerving to be able to see him knocking down a 3, but hopefully he can't get on a roll of those.
Definitely so. He's only put in 11 in conference player, attempted 11, put in 4 itself in the entire season of 24 games. He's only attempted 38, now 39. Powell working his way back down. Powell noticing that this game is within 4. He's starting to get a little fancy with the ball, try and get some shots. Givens finds Givens in his open spot, but Givens airballs it, shoots it way over the rim. No good. That would have put Moorpark within 1 of losing their lead. Wilson gets Williams. Williams had an open shot for 3, didn't take it. Wants to drive it in there himself. Takes care of that with the left-hander.
Made the big man look like a fool there.
Yes, he did. Williams really active in this last couple minutes of the game. 86-80, 1 minute exactly left in the game as the minute counts down. Looks like there was a foul on the play as they try and organize what happened right now between the refs.
It looked like the foul appeared to be committed before the shot was attempted, before he even went in the form of it, and the refs do agree that that shot does not count, but they were trying to figure out if it was a shooting foul, meaning it wasn't committed on the shooter, but it was committed on a player right next to him. So that shooter would go up for another free throw, and that would have been a 4-point play. But luckily, that was not the case.
Crandall puts one in, lowers the lead to 5, 86-81, 57.5 left in the game.
Number 10, Luis Herrera.
Lewis.
Correction, Luis.
And here we go, 50 seconds left on the clock. Wilson taking his time. Wants to make sure if he's going to take a shot, it's going to be the right shot. Gets it to Kirkham. Kirkham back to Wilson. They're just kind of trading the ball off at the top of the three-point line. Wilson going to drive now. Looks like Moorpark's going to maintain possession as the ball was knocked out of bounds.
Moorpark's going to get a timeout here. They only got 2 left on the shot clock, so let's see what Coach Link draws up. You know, probably maybe a 3 in the corner, maybe slip someone in the key, try to get the easy layup.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to think about this one, take their time, and realize, you know, we got 2 seconds. We have 29 seconds left in the game. Make sure that this shot is going to be worth it.
And Damian Wilson Jr., that last shot for Wilson, it wasn't a bad shot. I think he should have went a little more towards the hoop instead of settling for that fadeaway jumper. But with that move that he put on Ben Clay, Ben he can't do anything. Clay can't guard him. Clay's just too big. He doesn't have the agility to be able to guard Wilson, and Wilson just went straight past him. Of course, the double team came, but maybe go towards the rim the next time. Draw some contact, go in very strong. What Bilby has to do, as we've been talking about, go in very strong and try to draw the contact, try to lay it in. Just with a little softy layup, and he would be able to, you know, go to the line and stretch the lead.
And here we go, time to figure this out. 29.3 left in the game, 86-82, Moorpark leading the Santa Barbara Vaqueros by 4. They're going to set up with 2 on the shot clock. Looks like there's small confusion for the scoreboard down there. We'll just give them a second to work it out with the refs.
It looks like it's something different in the scorebook than on the board.
It does happen occasionally. It is a hard job to be able to track everything going on in the game, but hopefully they are able to get it figured out soon. I think it's a problem with the fouls. I have been down in the PA announcer role a few games this season and have sit next to them in the with the scoreboard, the official scorekeeper, and it is a tough job to be able to keep track of everything, and once in a while there are a few mistakes that do occur.
Understandably so. I mean, everybody is just human. We'll just give them just a moment as we take a break, and we'll come back to you as soon as we get this ready to go. And we are back. Everything is organized. The score is fixed. Not exactly sure what happened. Moorpark still holding on to a 4-point lead, 86-82. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. This shot better be worth it for Moorpark. They get it to Herrera. Herrera's got a three. Almost in. Doesn't land it in there. 24 seconds. The play clock and the shot clock are identical as Santa Barbara brings it to their side of the court and calls timeout. Again, just a moment. We will be right back after this timeout, and we'll get this game going.
Vaqueros.
And we are back after the last timeout. Possibly we'll see how this goes. If Moorpark can take over possession and end this game will be over. If Santa Barbara can get a hold of it, they're going to keep extending this as long as they can. And Hutchins for a shot, 13 seconds left. Looks like Moorpark's going to be called.
And that's the last thing you can do if you're the Raiders. You don't want to stop the clock and let Santa Barbara take shots without having to waste any time.
No, exactly what happened right now. Everything you don't want to happen is what happened for Moorpark right now, giving Santa Barbara a chance. If you give them a chance to breathe, they're going to take it.
And it didn't start off bad. Damian Wilson Jr., it wasn't an amazing closeout, but he jumped in front of Hutchins to make sure that he did not shoot that three. So it was good defense, but then it just turned opposite. It just turned a 180 when Elijah Holtz went up for the contest.
Here we go, the first one. Second one drops. 86-83, 3-point lead for Moorpark. Inbounded to Herrera. They're going to put some press on him, try and get this, take some time. Elijah Holtz gets it to Looks like they didn't see Becerra way down court, wide open, waiting to get this ball.
What you need to do when you're trying to break that full court press is pass it quickly. Always look for the middle. Always look for the open man. They were so Luis Herrera, he came down the court. He passed it a little late, but then the other passes, those should have been quick passes, and they were not able to get it. Nicholas Becerra, as we were saying, was wide open down low. That could have been an easy layup. With 6.6 seconds, they would have had a lead of 88-83, 5-point lead, and would have been insurmountable.
There's a huge free throw right here. Elijah Holtz can basically ice the game if he makes this one.
And he does it. Good call. Santa Barbara going to take this last shot, 3 seconds left, take the easy layup. Hutchins does that, calls times out with .2 left on the clock.
Looks like they're going to reset to .4 maybe.
A little surprising they didn't call offensive interference on that last basket, because I believe it was number 34, Tyler Crandall. He jumped up and touched the net when the ball was still in the basket. The ball was still coming down the net, and he touched the net. So it was a little interesting why they did not call offensive interference. Of course, Moorpark still has a 2-point lead, and as Ryan Wilmore did say, there is 0.1 second added back on the clock, so not too much time, but still enough to be able to launch it.
Yeah, they might be able to get a chance. If you put in a 3 from here, that's game.
Yeah, all Moorpark has to do though is basically touch the ball and the clock will run out.
That's what we can hope for. Weirder things have happened.
Yes, they have. All that the Vaqueros are looking for is to be able to get a quick steal. Right when they get the steal is just launch it up. No matter where you're at on the court, you just need
set, you just got,
yes.
It's a tip. Try to get lucky.
So Moorpark, what I would suggest to do is put all of your guys on the opposite side of the court that the inbounder is and just chuck it down.
Yep.
Just throw it down and have it be almost like a jump ball. So just throw down the opposite side of the court. Yes, exactly. Hail Mary like in football. Just lob it up to the opposite side of the court. Have players jump for it. They're not going to be able to shoot it with 0.3 seconds left from that far away.
Yep, not going to be possible to receive the ball and rebound up and go for it.
So I hope that they just move all these players back. That would be a very smart move. And yes, they just launch
exactly
it.
What they do.
Game over.
Gibbons gets a hold of it, and nothing from that. Moorpark is going to take this win from Santa Barbara, 87-85. Moorpark now extending their conference play to 4-5 overall. Last home game of the season for this team. Santa Barbara falls to 3-6 in conference play. Great game by both of them. Again, that will be the end of our broadcast for today for the men's basketball. Please stay tuned for women's basketball starting at 8 o'clock. We will have 7 o'clock. We will have a different broadcast team assembled between all of us. For Ryan Wilmore and Ryan Ketchum, my name is Nathan Espinosa. You all have a wonderful night, and thank you for joining.